All right.
Joining us on Inspiring Ideas for the Classroom today, we have Kyle Klein. Kyle is the Mathematics, Curriculum, and Technology Integration Specialist at Delphi Community Schools. So thanks for joining us, Kyle.
Sure, no problem. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Say, in addition to that, don't you, as we were speaking earlier, you're a part of the Council for Mathematics too, aren't you?
Yes, on the board for the Indiana Council of Teachers of Mathematics, and I'm also on the board for the Indiana Connected Educators.
Excellent.
Ah,
Yeah, lots of fun.
that should keep you busy, all those things.
Oh my gosh, yes, they are very busy. In fact, we have a fun little PD tonight for we're going to start doing every other Tuesday nights for educators to kind of come join, and it's going to be very informal and just kind of a little chat and kind of just hang out with some of our peers virtually that we don't get to hang out with in person. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Is that for the members only?
No, that's for educators across the state, across the nation. I think last time I checked, we just started promoting it last Friday, and I think we have 66 people signed up for it this evening. So
Excellent.
So if you follow at ICE Indiana on Twitter, it's the Indiana Connected Educators Twitter feed. We've been promoting it. So we call it PD on ICE. So it's not to be confused with Disney on Ice, but it'll be a good time, I'm sure.
Awesome. Well, we can put that link in the description to make sure people see that then, because this will go out next week.
Okay, perfect. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So what resource? Sounds like with that many positions, you probably have a number of resources that you've seen that are working good. What ones do you have to share with teachers today?
Okay, well, the one I'm going to start, I have two. They kind of go in conjunction with each other, but I'm going to show probably what I would call the MVP of remote learning this year, and that's going to be Flipgrid. Flipgrid is actually owned by Microsoft, and so they've made it free to all teachers, and they're planning on keeping it free, for its entire existence. So if you go to flipgrid.com, you can sign up as an educator. You can I already signed up, so I'm going to go ahead and log in. And basically what Flipgrid does is it allows you to get some feedback from the students visually. And so one of the things that we have done this year, and there's a bunch of things you can do, but for example, some teachers are using it, they call it shorts. And so you can go up here to shorts and you can create a video of instructions for your students. So if you want them to go over a certain site, or if you want to give them some sub plans for the day, or even just general directions on what they're going to accomplish. I recorded this one earlier. We got our Chewy box in the mail today, and my 7-year-old loves the Chewy box. She has it in the recliner right now. I don't know why, but she was sitting in it reading a book earlier. So she's going to hold out of her head. So it was a pretty funny little video that I had, but that's one place you can use it for shorts. If I go into actually, I want to, some of the data and the statistics that you get back are wonderful. So we have some, it tells you how many grids you have, how many topics you've created, how much interaction you've had with some of your students, and how many people have viewed it. So if I go to some of my grids here that we've shown, I co-created some of these. If they have a little plane here, that means you're a co-pilot. So another teacher and I have put some topics together here for AP statistics. I have a 6th grade math class, I have our Delphi Community High School class of 2020 grid. And actually I'm going to click on that one here just to kind of show some people what we are doing this year at Delphi. We have to, since we can't do an in-person graduation, we've taken our top 10 student awards, and we had a teacher and go and another person go to the house with the students. And if I click on this, it's going to show where we have our top 10 students. And then if you click on it, you can actually view the video of the student receiving their medal. Too loud here. So we were actually able to upload a video. You didn't have to do it on a computer, but this is where we delivered medals to the students, and they were able to find out what rank they were. They're able to have their influential educator there as well and talk about how they're, why they chose that educator. And the educator was able to say some nice words about the students also.
That is so nice.
It's pretty neat because we haven't released this. It's a good thing this is not releasing till later date, right? So I just uploaded these yesterday, and we already have 1 hour of viewing, 12 views between all these different. And that's mainly because I had the guidance counselor go in and check the different videos, make sure they're all in working order. So this is kind of neat because the instead of just having just a meal, and the students talk about the teacher and the teacher talk about the student, we actually are able to put this in video form, and the kids are going to be able to go back to it. The parents are going to be able to go back to it as many times as they like.
Oh, that's awesome. So you could share it publicly then?
So what we can do here is, let's see if there we go. There's a share button here. So I can actually click on this. There is we're going to share this link through our corporation Facebook page. We can also, I'll talk about the QR code here in a moment. If you're using this in the classroom, you can share the Flipgrid straight to Google Classroom, or if you use Microsoft Teams. The other neat thing is you can actually copy an embed code. So if you are building a website, you can receive the embed code and you can embed it onto your website as well.
Oh, awesome.
Awesome.
So those are some of the neat sharing tools with it. Kind of going along in this, we also have like our senior choir soloists. So we're going to have them in here. I have a lot of videos. There's only 3 in here right now. I have approximately 70 videos to get in between now and Friday evening for all of our scholarships and awards. So I have a little bit of work to do this week, I think.
I'd say.
So that's one way we're using it. I know when I showed that QR code, what some teachers have done is they do a wax museum in their schools, and so they can actually have students record in full uniform who their famous Hoosier, who their important person in history is, and then you can print off that QR code and post it onto like their poster outside the classroom, or if you have it inside the classroom, anywhere in the school or anywhere else that you want to show it off. And people can go up and they can just use their phone. They can scan that QR code, and then it pops up. It's like augmented reality. They can view that video of that student talking about who they are and why they're important in history.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. The kids, oh my gosh, when they first see that they pop up on top of that QR code, they're like, whoa, that's so cool. So
I bet.
yeah, they like that, definitely. You can also share these out through Facebook and Twitter as well. We did one where we had one way we used Flipgrid was we have a student that's been ill with cancer and he had to go in for different treatments. So his birthday fell over during some of this pandemic. So what we did is we had some students and some teachers go on here and submit some videos for wishing him a happy birthday. And I know it really perked him up quite a bit and made him feel really comfortable and happy that that he was being thought of by so many people that he maybe didn't thought about him that much.
That's awesome.
Wow.
We also at the very beginning we had our teachers across the whole district post a video here. So we have 49 videos. Not every teacher did it, but a lot of them. Just providing a short video of encouragement, good vibes, persistence or perseverance, and just letting our students know that we care about them. And so this is really neat because you can see we have 49 videos, but there's a total of 3,814 views of all these videos.
Oh my.
Almost 47 hours of students viewing this and parents viewing this. So we have all these teachers that have shared information to the students, tell them we miss them, we miss their faces. It was definitely a lot different this spring than what it usually is. And so we had a lot of positive vibes from using Flipgrid this way as well.
Absolutely.
Last thing I'm going to show you, because my background is math. One way that we have done this is and I'm actually getting ready to teach Algebra 1 virtually here this summer, and I'm pretty excited about it. But there is an embedded screen recording in here, and there's also an embedded whiteboard. So I want to say it might be this one. But what you can do is you can attach images, YouTube videos here. You can put a link to Google Slides. You can embed GIFs, like the animated. You can put those there as well. And what I'm going to do is send this to the students, and what they have to do is they have to choose this. They have to look at this image, and they have to choose which method is going to be best for them to solve this equation. So they can either do factoring, graphing, quadratic formula. I'm able to put a link in here, but it says they can use the embedded whiteboard. So when the students put a response, that's why I don't have it yet because I haven't done it yet. Once they record a response, they can actually use the embedded whiteboard, and they can show their work on the whiteboard. And so that's going to come back to me as soon as the students upload that. It comes to me, and I can either get notified or not, or I can just come back and check this whenever I want. And I can see, what the students are, how they solved it. I can give them audio feedback, or I can give them, I can type feedback to them so they can get that information back as well. I don't know, it's very cool. It's a very cool product, and especially for teachers to use for free. That's why I kind of, I give it the big MVP of remote learning so far this year.
Kyle, I have a question.
Awesome.
For the students using the whiteboard, because I've been looking at a couple of different whiteboarding platforms. Do the students have devices with touch pads, or how does that work with them?
So that's unfortunately no, because our students use Chromebooks, but if they have the free Flipgrid app on, say, on their iPad, if they have their own personal iPad, or if they have their own smartphone, then what they can do is they can actually pull it up on their smartphone, and they can mark it up on their phone, and then that gets uploaded that way as well.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, it would be even better if if we all had touchscreen Chromebooks, but unfortunately they're a little more expensive than the regulars.
Okay.
So, great question.
This is very useful still, though.
Yeah, it's really neat. I do want to show off the Disco library. So this is where you can submit ideas, or you can look for other ideas. So they have some that are already previously created, where they have some things through Wonderopolis, actually through Wonderopolis. If I click on this one, I love this one because the cat's dancing here, even though I'm not really a cat person. So it's a question about, can music help you think? And so it says, read the article below, and you click on that, and it takes you to a Wonderopolis video. And then the students have to give a video response to whatever the teacher can put in. So this is submitted by another teacher, but if I want to add this to one of my grids, I can put it here in one of my grids, and I can click on add. I will automatically add it into my Math PD grid that I have here, and I can update my title. I can change the prompt if I want. You can change the recording time as well. And there's also video moderation. So if you don't want everybody to see a video yet, say you want them to answer a question, and the students could just watch the first video to answer the question, and then you can actually turn on video moderation at this point, and then they can't view those videos until the teacher releases those videos. So if I click on update topic, then that should put it in my Math PD. I zoom in, you see on my Math PD grid right here. I'll have to delete that later, but
So it'll pop up in a second. There's a bit of a lag on the screen, what we say and what I see.
Sure, no problem. I called Xfinity about my Wi-Fi earlier today because it's been slower and slower.
As is mine, it would appear.
So here we go. So hopefully this will show where it popped up here. Can music help you think? And that's going to be in my other stuff. But I can delete this grid or this topic right here if I don't want it. Sure. affiliate. So that's a neat thing about the Disco library. There are some pre-made ones. You can also search. You can search. There's almost 20,000 topics in the library. You can search for an age group. You can search for a certain subject. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. But it's really cool because there's just so many educators are willing to share what they've done with other teachers. So, the teachers don't have to design from scratch, but they can come in here and they can say, oh, hey, that's really cool. I think I want to try to use that grid instead. So I could find something on SOTOA and I could add this to one of my grids.
Well, that's wonderful. That's good to know that there's like a library then that you could search for ones that are available.
Correct. So they call it the Disco Library. Disco Library.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah. Another neat thing is called Grid Pals, where you can actually, it's like Pen Pals, but it's Grid Pals with other schools. And so we actually did this with our 8th grade Algebra 1 class at my school, and my sister is the math teacher down in Carmel. And so it was neat for the kids to see each other and see their classrooms and just, get their thinking involved, because, once you start giving kids other people than either just the teacher or other people than just their peers to critique some of their work, then you'll notice that the quality of their work extremely skyrockets as well. So they were nervous at first, but afterwards they've got some of their own friends from a different school corporation that's 60 miles away.
Well,
that's really cool.
Yeah, I could see that being a motivator if other people are going to see your stuff.
Right. Yeah. Instead of an audience of one, right?
Yeah.
The only other thing we have time to show one more thing a little quicker than Flipgrid.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Screencastify is a wonderful Chrome extension that, if you look at my Chrome, it's kind of scary because I have all these different icons up here. Those are different extensions that I use throughout the day or different times throughout the month. But one of my favorites is Screencastify, and Screencastify is nice because what that allows you to do is it allows you to record, I think for free, you can record up to 15-minute long video, and honestly, that's probably long enough.
It's
times as long to watch.
It's pushing attention spans.
It is. I think the optimal time for a video is 3 to 5 minutes, so you don't want to push it past that. The free version lets you, you can record either your desktop, you can record your browser tab. So if I wanted to go through, say like a HyperDoc or a Google Slides where I want the students to go through different things, I can have them do that by just going to my browser tab, and I can do the recording. The other nice thing is it gives you a little countdown. You can show the drawing tool so you can draw on the screen as you record as well. So if I'm going to record this here super fast, so we'll see if it'll work. It may not work with the web browser because I'm already using the camera, you guys. So yeah, usually it will. Oh, there it is. I'm a picture within a picture, which is scary. Look at all these people in me. So, but the neat thing is, here you could write on the screen and you can give students instructions about what they should be looking at. So I'm going to say, hey, you need to make sure you go to my grids up here. You need to choose the topic of Math PD, and you need to put your response for the can music help you learn. And so I can give instructions like that. I can finish off the video here. I don't have to just record my screen. You can also do just a webcam, which is nice. So if you want to just do that video where they see just you can do that if you want to give them some instructions. So then here it is. It pops up in the, there we go. So picked up my audio. And it's going to pick up the penmanship, not penmanship, sorry, the pen tool as I circle up my grids as well. And so the neat thing about this, you can edit either the beginning or the end of your video. I usually edit the end because it shows the little box up there at the top. You can share this video. It automatically shares to your Google Drive. You can also share it straight to Google Classroom or straight to YouTube, which is very handy. You don't have to download it to your device and then go to YouTube and then upload it to YouTube that way. You can publish it straight to YouTube, which is super handy.
Wow.
It is very convenient.
Yeah, it's very nice. And in the classroom, I'm going to delete this here before it gets too far. I'm going to delete it. One of the things that you can really use it for teachers is, like I said before, they can give instructions if they're going to be gone for the day. Or in remote learning, it's nice for them to be able to go to, if they want to go through Google Slides and they want to say, okay, on this slide you need to do this piece, and this slide you need to do this piece. It's great for students to use if they created a Google Slides or a PowerPoint presentation, but they're not going to present it to the class in person. And so what they can do is they can use Screencastify. They can record them going through the slides and kind of give their own verbal presentation, and then it can be uploaded to Google Classroom, and they could go through it. The other thing they could do is they could even upload it to, once it's in their Google Drive, they could download it. You could throw it into Flipgrid. So the teacher could have all the student presentations in one topic in Flipgrid as well. You can kind of smash those two together.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. I like that idea.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of different uses. Students could peer review other students' work. They give them some feedback that way. They could give some lesson feedback to the teacher even, or they could say, okay, I don't understand this part of the lesson, and what did I do wrong here? When I'm thinking about like coding, and if somebody's doing Scratch or code.org, and the students are working on coding, and what they could do is they could do a screenshot because it's just not working out right, but they could do a screenshot, and they could or a screencast, and then they could upload that video to their teacher and say, I had this correct. Can you take a look at this and give me an idea of what it looks like? So it's not just for the teachers, it's great ways for the students to use it as well.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
So yeah, so I think there's a lot of neat things. Flipgrid on Twitter and Screencastify, and they put out great content all the time. And they put out great content that's made by other teachers. So I love seeing what other teachers are doing, and share it with our teachers at school and be like, hey, here's just an idea. You don't have to do it, but here's something that I saw that's really neat. You and your kids may enjoy it. And so a lot of the staff at Delphi said they really, really enjoyed Flipgrid and Screencastify during the spring. It really helped them out a lot.
No, good. I say one of the teachers we were talking to, they're asking how to get feedback like this, and we'd mentioned Flipgrid to them. But we had neither of us, Sarah nor I, had used it in a year probably. So this is a good refresher for us.
Well, and they actually, I talked about kind of smashing Screencastify and Flipgrid together, but now I forgot that maybe a few weeks ago, added a screencasting capability within it. So you can actually do all of it within Flipgrid, which is super handy, especially with that embedded web.
Yes, I like that a lot. We'll actually probably be using Flipgrid here for our professional developments that we're doing this summer.
Oh, cool. Yes, it's. I'm going to set up some professional development for our staff this summer. Probably use Flipgrid as well, because I want them to. It's good for them to see what's like from the student side also. See, okay, if I need to upload this video, or it's also fun for the teachers to play with the emojis, when they, or give themselves, like, I like to, whenever I take my my selfie on Flipgrid, I always like to give myself more hair, so that makes it better. That's one of my favorite parts with it.
Yeah, I have seen a lot of emojis here floating around lately. It's all the different teacher social media things.
Right.
It's gotten a little too popular.
I know. Yeah, it can be oversaturated. It'll be done soon. Then there'll be something else will pop up.
Yes, it will. We appreciate you taking time to show and share resources that you've seen useful and found useful with the other teachers. We appreciate it immensely.
Sure, no problem.
This will actually be uploaded next week, so we'll get it out next week for you.
Great. Well, I really appreciate you, contacting me, and I hope something. I hope they teachers get something from this, and if they want to reach out, my Twitter is at Mr. Klein_edtech, so they can reach out to Twitter. I'm even though we're off in the summer, I'm never really off, so so it's always learning and always.
Thank you for listening to our podcast.
Be sure to subscribe, rate, and leave a review.
An outstanding
on
review.
iTunes or your preferred podcast player.
Tweet us your science questions.
At Purdue SOS.
Until next time, be super, and remember,
You are someone's hero.
boiler up.
Hammer down.